All right, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the topic, is it possible to live entirely off the food growing in your garden? This is a question that's come through on the channel several times over the years. This is something that I wondered and was pondering prior to starting my food forest. So I'm going to share with you my thoughts and ideas on the subject. I'd love to hear from you guys as well, so chime in, shoot a comment below. It helps the channel to grow. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So is it possible to be completely self-sustaining? Can you survive and provide for your family without any outside influence, no bartering or purchasing of goods from anyone else? Well, in short, the answer is yes, it's possible, but highly unlikely, especially for 99.9% of the population, for several reasons. For one, you would need a vast array of different types of foods in order to fully sustain yourself and get the nutritional profile you need. It would also require a great deal of knowledge as far as nutrition is concerned. You would need to make sure you were getting the appropriate amount of amino acids and calcium, iron, B12. It would also be a lot of work. It would be your whole life. You would wake up and from morning till night, your whole objective would be to provide and to tend all your different crops. And if you were raising livestock, you'd have a lot of work to do throughout the day in order to make sure that you were able to survive. I think a scenario like that is more likely in more of a community-based setting rather than an individual or a single family. With that being said, I am a firm believer in shooting for the stars, aiming high, going for the gold. And if your objective is to be as self-sustaining as possible, then you want to go for it all the way. And once everything settles and balances out a bit, where you end up is at a really nice position where you have become a lot more self-sufficient. Perhaps you're able to produce even half of what you used to have to purchase or trade with other folks in order to survive. And that's a great position to be in for many different reasons. For one, you're going to have great health if you're producing food on site, especially if you're growing organically and you're taking great care of the soil, the organisms, the plants, the animals, everything in the system. It's going to reward you with an abundance of super high quality, nutrient dense, tasty foods. So if that alone is not good enough reason for you to want to grow your own food or even head towards more of a homesteading lifestyle, then maybe you lack the motivation. I don't know, but I'll tell you this, in my experience, the investment of time, money, and effort that I put in the beginning of my Food Forest project to where I'm at today, it was worth every drip of sweat, every bit of time, every dime. We get so much back from the garden in the way of health, happiness, cost savings when it comes to groceries, and it's a very nice position to be in. Now, with that being said, there are plenty of opportunities to live entirely off your garden for, let's say, a full day or 2 days or maybe even a week. For me, I like to do mono meals of fruits or veg, which means you're just eating one of the same type of food for an entire day. I find mono meals to be a great way to cleanse the body and also utilize the abundance of produce that comes on all at one time, like with a fruit tree, let's say. You may have 10 pounds of fruit all ripening on the same day where it's at its peak, and you really want to try to utilize that in a timely manner and get the most out of that food, so that's a great way to go about it. But throughout the entire year, my garden is supplementing just about every single meal that I consume. We're not very complicated around here when it comes to the dishes we eat. We typically stick to probably about 20 different mainstay dishes that we create here. A lot of them are soups, stews, vegetable-based. We also do a lot of blended drinks, smoothies, and juices, and all of these dishes utilize different produce coming out of the garden. So we're able to save a lot of money overall on our food bill. If I were to guesstimate, I'd say it's probably somewhere around 30%. And growing each and every year. We're getting more abundance out of the garden, so we're saving more on the grocery bill. It really just depends on how extravagant we want to live that week and how many expensive items we might want to purchase from the grocery store. But we're very happy with our current situation, having food on demand, fast food, anytime. Just head out to the backyard, harvest what you need. And if you find that there's a certain food that you're using a lot of that you do have the potential to grow, but you're not growing yet, well, that's something that you really want to consider growing because that's going to be a huge savings for you. A good example for us would be lemons. We utilize lemons in our water. We put them in our juices. We use them to make salad dressings, but we still don't yet have a fully mature lemon tree. So I'm just getting a few lemons right now, but eventually we'll be completely self-sustaining with lemons, and that'll be a great day coming. Right now, we're completely self-sustaining on oranges, plums, greens, but even though we do grow crops like potatoes and sweet potatoes, and these are food staples for us that we use throughout the entire year, we're really not able to produce what we need to sustain ourselves with those crops. So we're going to supplement, and when they're in season, we're growing them here, and throughout the rest of the year, we're buying them from the store. So that's how it works around here with our current situation. We do have long-term goals of someday perhaps having a larger piece of land where we can grow more variety in more abundance. But what we have been able to accomplish in just a short amount of time with minimal effort by foodscaping our property, if you will, has proven to be one of the best investments we've made, not just financially, but for our health and well-being. So I guess I'll wrap it up by sharing with you my final thoughts, which is do the best you can with what you got and be happy with the blessings that you receive from the garden. Continue to add on, squeeze in new plants, and refine your design as needed. And I'm sure like we have, you'll find that it was well worth all the time and energy and inputs that you put into it. Well, that's going to wrap today's video up. I sure hope you found something useful or helpful in today's content. If you would, please take a moment to rate the video. And if you haven't yet, we'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. New videos coming out every week, sometimes every day. And we're always giving you updates on all the different things growing on around here. And so with that, have yourself a great rest of the day. Until next time, this is Dan from PlantAbundance.com. I'll be talking to you again real soon.